The retail began the year with the waste filters in 2010. After the consequences caused by the speculative American crisis, begins to appear signals of recovery. This recovery can be perceived because the largest investment made by multinationals, giants like Walmart, Carrefour, and McDonald's. Moreover, the realization of big mergers like Casas Bahia with Pão de Açúcar and Ricardo Eletro with Insinuante show us the market is changing. There is also the strong focus on specialization of retail giants in the e-commerce. The Carrefour has big focus as in the investment as in the insertion in the electronic market. The investment made by the French company has reached 2.5 million reais, the largest ever made outside France. Regarding e-commerce, the company created a differential to win the retail competition, as a technical assistance by internet and phone. Different of some sectors, the influence in speculative crisis didn't affect so strong the retail. The retail didn't show a sharp decrease compared to the previous years. It happened because to prevent the fall of Brazil consumption, the government held strategies to favor the sector. Because the panic caused by the global crisis, it was predictable that the consumer would decrease the expense. In response to this prediction, the government realized credit to the population through the Public Bank, Bank of Brazil, and BNDES. Another strategy realized by the monetary authorities was the reduction of the IPI, Industrialist Product Tax, in the price of cars and all the white line, home appliances, in general. These attitudes were great importance for the stability of the retail as a national economy. Can be seen in the graphic that the retail has a decline in the years 2008 and 2009, which were affected by the crisis, but it's possible to analyze a quick recovery caused by the strategy realized by Brazilian government. Carrefour in 2009 showed a 7% fall in profits. That cause of an unexpected fall was the cut in the price of products with the objective to attract consumers. This useful strategy was performed only in Europe. In Latin America, the company recovered a strong growth of sales. In Brazil, the company grows 13.4% over the same period last year. Because of the achieved great success, Carrefour prepares an investment package in the country of 2.5 billion reais for 2010 and 2011. This will be the largest investment already done by the French group in Brazil. At first, the idea is to give investment priority to the regions north and northwest, and the growth of electric commerce. Besides Carrefour, a large company in the retail sector also prepares a big injection of money into the 2010. The network Walmart announced an investment about 2 billion reais. This will be the biggest investment done by the company outside the United States. Which the investment announced by these two companies in Brazil, we can understand that the bottom in the retail sector will be first of the year. After the merger between Casas Bahia and Pão de Açúcar, both Carrefour as markets already started to study strategies to not get back in the national market.
B2Double was a leader on e-commerce when finalized the merger in 2006. But the company didn't take the advantage of opportunities and advantage of other retailers and without innovation made by others. She now holds 45.8% lower compared with 50% at the beginning. One of the innovations is from Casas Bahia, which plays video on how to run their machines, and while B2Double is closed on for customers, other retailers, the general public. Carrefour, the last major retailer to enter on the e-commerce, starting this year, offers major innovations with only 50,000 items on their website. They plan to increase to 18,000 by the end of the year, and they beyond their products. They offer service and many things. Their goal is to arrive in 2011 being one of the 5 largest e-commerce in Brazil. Pão de Açúcar also entered in this fight with the strategy of bringing the sites of Pão de Açúcar, Ponto Frio, Casas Bahia, and Extra.com. Observe that to regain the leader, B2Double needs to innovate and create something on our site that attracts its consumers so they can choose your site. The e-commerce is rising as we can see this blinking graphic in the segment in the recent years. Every day that goes by, the retail sector are becoming increasingly smaller, reversing the huge selling point of the 80s. In the last 2 years, the smaller stores increased the number of the stores, and large stores such as supermarkets and hypermarkets have decreased. A research conducted in 2007 to 2009, the number of neighborhood stores grew 140%. There was also a decline in the number of markets of 1.5%, and hypermarkets increased only 8% over the same period. The three giants of retail, Carrefour, Pão de Açúcar, and Walmart, declined 6.4% in their average size. There are several explanations for such events. The first is that the consumer wants to shop close to home and spend their free time on other things. The second reason is the stability of the currency, in which the price will not change from night to day, which was what happened at the time of hyperinflation. And the last reason is that the population grows older. For physical reasons, it's difficult to walk through the big stores, preferring the smallest ones. In this first trimester, the Renner, second largest network of department stores in the country, more than tripled its profit compared to the last year. The factors that influenced was the performance of Brazilian economy, the increase in formal employment, the supply of credit, and the stability of inflation and interest. The Renner also improved the logistics, their adjustments in the composition of stocks and in the purchase planning. Your net profit was 36.9 million reais, your performance was increased of 50.1%, and your net receipt grows 20.7%. According to Barclays, in the moment, the Renner is the best company to invest in the consumer sector in Brazil. Your actions gained a great appreciation of the exchange in April. Renner, who last year was almost overcame by Riachuelo, remains in second place, only behind CNA. With your great performance in this semester, it can maintain position or even possibly move to lead the market. The merger between Insinuante from Bahia and Ricardo Eletro from Minas Gerais shows the reaction of smaller retailers on merger conducted by Pão de Açúcar. With this merger, they exceed Magazine Luiza, becoming the second largest trade in the furniture and appliances in the country. Before that, these two networks disputed the northeastern market, but now they also want to focus on the southeast, mainly in Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo. With this merger, we can see how the market tends to flow. Larger companies buying smaller ones and having mergers between small networks to survive against large ones. In the 2009 end was realized the largest merger between two retail companies in all times in Brazil. The merger between Casas Bahia and Pão de Açúcar created a giant in the retail sector that surpassed the point of 100,000 employees. The first 4 months were of great prosperity for the company, but in the 50th month of its existence, the company began to show problems in his administration. When the merger was realized, was decided that Samuel Klein would be the president, but all his decisions should be approved by Abílio Diniz. The policy adopted by the company generated disagreements during the few months of existence. The principal reason of this disagreement was the fact that Samuel Klein was considered as a king in England, reigns but doesn't rule. Klein then proposed reconsideration on the company policy with the argument that the company wasn't being worked like was stipulated on the contract, and even said to Diniz that wanted to break up the merger. Diniz said that contracting is working rightfully was the provide, but not compromise the integrity of the merger. The Pão de Açúcar company already accepted to contract the review. With the renegotiation confirmed, the stock fell more than 50% in the stock market of São Paulo. In a review realized by magazine Exame, Klein said, "Nobody is sorry. We start something and I want it to end the right way. It only remains, therefore, that Klein engineers decide what is more correct to finish this story." Currently, the Brazilian retail sector is in a situation of stability and reason. The increase in power consumption of Class C and D influenced this rise in trade, where the direct consumption is stimulated. Other aspect that was influenced the improvement of service offered by retailers in the e-commerce. It is an electronic trade that facilitates consumer access to products through the internet and telecommunication. Competition in this segment was being intensifying since late 2009, highlights the entrance of Carrefour with difference of concern to competitors, like the giant B2W. After the mergers of Pão de Açúcar and Casas Bahia that present a strong threat to the other Brazilian retailers, the tendency here in Brazil is that this year will be the record year of mergers in this sector. Is what we observe in the recent merger between Ricardo Eletro and Insinuante, which was performed to get in the fight for portions of national market. We will see in the retail sectors continuous corner transition and between smaller chains and regional players who feel the need to straighten. And the specialized claim that these consolidations are positive to the socioeconomic aspects of the country. A potential instability can be arise with the truth of separation between Casas Bahia and Pão de Açúcar, which is relative to administrative problems.